Hello, everyone. Welcome to Google Cloud Next. I'm really excited today to talk about how Sabre, the world leader in personalized travel marketplace, achieves security with innovation on Google Cloud. My name is Keith Mokris, Director of Product Marketing here with Prisma Cloud at Palo Alto Networks. At Palo Alto Networks, we're excited to be a strategic partner with Google Cloud in helping organizations around the world take advantage of all the different services that Google Cloud offers to deliver security at scale. Today, we're going to be talking about how Sabre moved to the cloud and secured it with Prisma Cloud. But before we do that, I want to talk about some of the trends and best practices that came about from the 2020 State of Cloud Native Security Report that Palo Alto Networks conducted. As part of this report, we interviewed and correlated data from over 3,000 practitioners around the globe. DevOps engineers, cloud infrastructure and cloud platform engineers, and security and SecOps architects to understand how they're moving to the cloud and where security fits into that picture. And one of the things we asked them were, what are their top challenges that they face as they move to the cloud? 42% of respondents shared that technical complexity is a top challenge, which makes a lot of sense as you think about the distributed infrastructure they need to take advantage of and all of the different services that are now at their disposal that require new tooling really to address. Secondly, respondents shared that maintaining comprehensive security, which is certainly a challenge as you think about all the different layers of the technology stack that you need to secure come into play, and making sure that you can address it in a scalable, comprehensive manner is definitely important. And then finally, respondents shared that ensuring compliance was another top challenge. They want to make sure that they can meet their internal compliance requirements, as well as look at real-time data and historical data for ensuring that they meet external compliance regimes. And this is something that's definitely going to come into play as we talk about our case study with Sabre. Additionally, we asked organizations about how they're using different workloads and application stacks in the cloud. And I think one of the key takeaways here is that organizations are using a combination of all of these different compute stacks to power their applications. So certainly, virtual machines form the backbone of how a lot of organizations have moved to the cloud or are deploying workloads and applications there. I think one of the key takeaways is that when you look at containers and containers as a service, this encompasses 45% of the data from respondents. And ultimately, if you look at services like Google Kubernetes engine, which is what Sabre was using in the cloud, it really encompasses how you have a new approach for securing these containers and Kubernetes applications. Then additionally, you have even more modern compute offerings that encompass platform as a service. So here you're looking at powerful capabilities from Google Cloud Run or Google Functions that are a key backbone to how organizations are thinking about running all of their different applications. And I think the key here is that organizations have a lot of choices, but as they make these choices, they're going to have different trade-offs in how the workload or application functions, and that definitely plays a part in how they need to think about security. Most importantly, as part of this survey with our respondents, we asked them how prepared they felt when it came to scaling security in the cloud. And so we asked them to look at, do you feel highly prepared, moderately prepared, or do you have a lot of work to do in securing your applications? And then one of the things we did is we correlated this data to understand if you're a highly prepared organization, what best practices are you enabling that allow you to deliver this satisfied outcome? And one of the things we found is that 45% of organizations in the highly prepared category said that they were embedding security into the DevOps process. And this certainly goes hand in hand with adopting tools like Google Kubernetes engine and some of the other CI/CD workflows that organizations are taking advantage of because they're building and deploying more frequently. And if you're building and deploying more frequently with these cloud native architectures, you can't just secure everything in production. You need to be thinking about how you can embed security controls into your build workflows, into the developer desktop, or as part of your regular deployments. And you're going to see that developers and DevOps teams want results in their native tooling, and security is going to be looking for more centralized management. And so I think this is another key takeaway that we're going to be touching on as we learn about some of the best practices that Prisma Cloud helped Sabre achieve. I'm excited to capture some of the key takeaways as Sabre and Prisma Cloud combined to help foster a culture of secure innovation on Google Cloud. And Sabre came to us with a couple of challenges. One, they wanted to achieve a complete view of visibility across all their cloud environments. And this is a challenge a lot of organizations face because they may have a lot of different point solutions that don't add up to a complete picture when it comes to cloud security. That also leads into the second point around centralized management. It's much easier to scale security in the cloud when you have a complete view and all of your policies in the one place to make sure that everything is consistent. Finally, security personnel as well as DevOps and cloud infrastructure personnel are incredibly sought after at organizations. And so if you can ensure that they can automate as many tasks as possible, whether it's with alerting, remediation, or provisioning securely, you can achieve a lot of powerful outcomes. And ultimately, all of these different things can come together to allow organizations to accelerate innovation in a secure manner. With Prisma Cloud, we were able to deliver a cloud-native security platform that combines all of these capabilities around visibility and compliance, threat detection, CI/CD security, and full stack runtime protection to deliver these best-in-class outcomes. By delivering capabilities across the application lifecycle, we ensured that DevOps and SecOps could collaborate, and I'm excited to dive into and explain how Sabre was able to achieve that. And then finally, in the case study, Sabre definitely highlights how they wanted to address all the different layers of data protection that are part of their side of the shared responsibility model in the cloud. And so by moving to Google Cloud, we were able to work with them and achieve these best-in-class outcomes. Ultimately, these outcomes were really built around three security objectives that Sabre had. First and foremost, centralized security management was a core requirement. Because if you have your security team working with all these different teams at the organization and hopping around lots of different tools, it really can hurt your overall outcomes and efficiency. So Prisma Cloud was able to provide Sabre with a single pane of glass to see all of their different resources and how they were configured, incorporate threat detection and alerting, and ultimately then bring all the compliance data that they needed into a single dashboard with a single reporting outcome. And again, this improves overall efficiencies, especially at scale. Security automation was another key objective at Sabre, where again, automating remediation, where you're able to take alerts and provision infrastructure securely in a timely manner, again, improves overall ROI. Infrastructure as code scanning, where you're looking at some of the new modern templating systems that Google Cloud provides for organizations, and being able to scan those templates for misconfigurations before code is deployed and configured or infrastructure and provisioned is a really great outcome. So here a developer or DevOps team can see their security posture before they build these environments. And ultimately, this brings together the notion of full lifecycle security across build, deploy, and run. And this really allowed Sabre to achieve this last objective around implementation of a secure by design practice. So here, if you have SecOps, DevOps, and all these other teams working together, you now have credibility where you're all partners in ensuring that everything is secure as possible as it's built, deployed, and configured. And so here you have a comprehensive view and approach covering your cloud environment, the applications and workloads you're running in those cloud environments, your data, and your network security and how you've configured all of your network communications. And so these three objectives really came together to allow Sabre to achieve innovation with security on Google Cloud. Ultimately, I want to recap some of the powerful outcomes that you can dig into in the Sabre case study. And again, the first thing we highlighted was this centralized visibility and security management by bringing all of this infrastructure into a single pane of glass. So this meant that anyone at the organization can now use Prisma Cloud to understand these complex and highly dynamic infrastructure systems. Ultimately, Sabre was able to improve their overall security posture by shifting security left in the application lifecycle. So again, making sure that instead of just addressing everything in production, they could find and fix misconfigurations and flaws much earlier. And if you do this right, this ultimately fosters a culture of collaboration at your organization where all these different teams feel empowered in order to deliver on these outcomes. There's certainly other ROI as well. One of them that they talked about was reducing time to resolve security incidents. Where previously addressing a security incident took hours or days, and Prisma Cloud allowed Sabre to start addressing some of these flaws in seconds. And by using automation on alerting and remediation, they were able to really deliver on these powerful outcomes. And then finally, compliance is a key part of moving to the cloud and scaling there securely. And Prisma Cloud was able to simplify compliance reporting with out-of-the-box frameworks, for example, that would cover SOC 2, PCI DSS, HIPAA, and others, to ensure that Sabre could use these policies, customize them as needed, and benefit from one-click compliance reporting. Ultimately, we feel that this quote from the case study really captures the secure innovation that Sabre and Prisma Cloud were able to partner with on Google Cloud. Finally, if you'd like to learn more about Palo Alto Networks and Prisma Cloud and how we're able to secure cloud environments for organizations, I invite you to explore the full case study on Sabre and learn about all the different details of their secure innovation on Google Cloud. Additionally, if you'd like to learn more about Prisma Cloud or other Palo Alto Networks solutions, check out our different pages on the Google Cloud Marketplace. Here you'll benefit from detailed technology overviews, demo videos, and other resources, as well as contacts that allow you to reach out and learn more. And finally, we understand that return on investment is incredibly important for organizations. And we recently conducted a Forrester Total Economic Impact study that looks at things like finding and fixing flaws earlier in the application lifecycle, scaling compliance, scaling security, and addressing and preventing cloud data breaches. And if you'd like to download a full version of that study, we invite you to do so on the Palo Alto Networks and Prisma Cloud websites. Again, my name is Keith Mokris. I'm thrilled to represent Prisma Cloud and Palo Alto Networks here at Google Cloud Next. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.